Oh, man, it's the thing. Microphone is really small, so I don't think that's the reason why this phone is not like. I mean, the microphone is just like so small. So I don't know. There's a reason why I was giving the issues back probably yesterday. I tried. I don't know. I'm just gonna say what happened with the phone right now. But yeah, it's what's the day? I don't know. I don't keep count on days. I don't really care if it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, unless there's plans, but I usually don't look. I don't really focus that much on the future or the next day that much. It's just in the present, really. Yeah, but yeah, it's a really nice day outside right now. Uh, Very nice, very refreshing. That's for sure. Uh, Birds, they're singing. They're oh man, it's just yeah. What you say? What you say? Um, I don't think I'm gonna label my the titles or anything like that because it's kind of like pointless because I talk about random stuff and it's just one of those things. It's the only viewer is probably just gonna be myself and probably like if one person or it doesn't matter. I don't know whoever is watching or listening. I don't know. And uh, but I guess really more for like I mean like I guess it's really more like a therapy more than anything. Self help in a way. Self meditate, well, in a way, keep my mind straight up, not think of something bad or anything at all really negative or but yeah, just keep it occupied. I used to I remember when I was going to after the visits, the whatever the for when I was diagnosed, they told me to go to therapy multiple times, and I did sometimes I did. In the beginning, I used to go, but there was a point that it was just like, and it didn't do anything for me. It was basically just talking. It didn't make me feel anything afterwards or even during. It just didn't. There was one therapy person, a girl, and I couldn't really talk to her because she was just attractive, and it was just like it was very uncomfortable because it's just I mean like I don't know what to say when it comes to certain things. When it comes to like what are you thinking? Like, wow, I'm thinking about you right now. It doesn't. There's a reason why I don't really say. I don't really. It was a good time at that time. It was like, okay. But I mean, that's the reason why I stopped going to therapy. That's one reason. Because I don't say what like what are you thinking, like what's your thoughts or anything like that. I don't focus on that. I don't focus on my thoughts from yesterday. I don't focus on just thoughts from my past. I focus on what's going on right now, like right now. And I never been that guy who like what's the problem, like you know like. I mean, like, you know, I don't know. Wait, like, just like the problems are just gonna go away because they're not. I mean, like one of the biggest problems that I want to say is just the isolation, I guess, and it's not isolation from people. It's more like isolation. It's just okay, but like in life. All I really wanted since I was a child, the very simple life is just grow up, have family, kids, nice job, and basic. That's it. A nice family and job. That's really why I wanted it. And and I love sports, so that's the reason why I got into personal training, because I love to be I like to train people. And I mean, I was even a personal trainer for a short time. It was just not. I didn't really feel it, because I didn't feel like it was such a short time. Like half an hour to just train people. That's nothing for me. That's nothing. And when it comes to just training, it's not the physical part. It's mostly like we're just talking about. When it comes to training, it's more than just telling people what to do, it really is about what's going on. It's basically like therapy. That's the reason why people get personal trainer. It's not because of, oh, I want to get slim. Yeah, that's one of the reasons, but it's also to have someone to keep you, to talk to. You know, somebody to give you advice. Like you're working out at the same time, but at the same time you're like, okay. I mean, like you don't even pay for to get fit. Well, it is, but sometimes you're also getting just to have the luxury of having like someone you can talk to, a companion, you know. But yeah, that's the reason why but I never and then it didn't really work out also because it's just baseball I have, and baseball like the schedule back, like it's just one of those things it doesn't really fit, because there was one job that actually the times were all spread out, so like because I'm personal trainer, I have to stay there for like basically the whole day, just because like the hours are so spread out. So your only option is just to stay there the whole day, and just like really early until like the next person come on, and sometimes they come really late. And if you're in if you're closer, because driving is time consuming, and it's also the location too, and also like there's a worth it, because for me it was not worth it. The pay was not worth it. The time was not worth it. It did not. It was just not worth it for me. The pay, and the time. And then not to mention, I mean, like I really got into personal training just to train people, and there was also that I wanted to also being a coach. Like if it doesn't work out, there's also coaching, but that, to be honest, I don't think there's many options when it comes to just coaching by itself for like a job, unless you have good connections, which I did not have any connections. You know, everyone's like this is like most athletes, like Division I athlete, they usually get the connection from their coaches, like their varsity coach. I mean their I don't know how to say that, but they have connections, and through all their coaches, but I didn't have any really. And and I guess you can say it was just like my only option was just being a voluntary coach, and even and I also thought about just being like try to pursue high school coaching, or assistant coach, something like that, but it's not really good high paying, and not to mention with my issue that I have with sleep problem right now. Lately I've been actually in the last few days I've been sleep pattern been pretty good actually. I've been waking up early, usually earlier than usual, and sleeping on time. I'm like sleep problems have been getting better, but it's not always going to be the case for me. I don't know if it's the vitamins, and because sometimes it's as simple as something chemically. It's something that's as simple as that, you know. because I honestly believe those medications, like the new ones, was not gonna work. I honestly thought like they were not gonna work at all. I mean, it's just like 2 pills. I mean, they're pretty big, but I was like, they're not gonna work because it's so small. It's not gonna work. But like, it made a huge difference. I mean, it didn't fix like sleep problems, and it didn't fix everything, but it definitely fixed my way of thinking, like the insanity and hallucinations and paranoia better. I mean, it improved, all the stuff, delusional issues, stuff like that, It helped with that, but yeah, I mean, what was I talking about? Man, what's the weather? Oh, I was talking about coaching, but yeah, I don't really care that much about job income because like already on since I'm on disability right now. I mean, it's not a big income, but it's enough that I can pay bills and food and stuff like that, and rent bills. It's enough. As long as I live with my, it's a budget. But I mean, it's not, and to be honest, it's not as bad. Like, yeah, I mean, I cannot spend a lot. It is something like that. And I can still get a job. The thing is, when it comes to that, it's just like, I feel like, okay, so you know how sleep problems can cause issues, and there's times that when I don't sleep at night, and because this is what happened in the past, I did not go to sleep at all. The next, and if you do it for a certain pattern, like daily, it's almost like you get, like, I got used to sleep deprivation. Like, I got used to there's a few times I got sleep few hours to no hours just because of my sleep problems, and I went to work like that, and they say I was not there, and like your moods is not there. You're just like you're up over 24 hours. That's the number right there, over 24 hours. And that's like a pattern for days in a row, days in a row. And your emotions is not there, and stuff like that. It's just like there's a reason why, that's the reason why, I feel it, and it's just one of the things, like, I feel like that it's gonna cause an issue later on. I've been having this in the last since 2016. I've been having an issue of since I quit since 2016. I've been having issues just keeping up. I mean, like, the pressure, because, like, you know how because people around you, they put pressure. They used, like, to put pressure. I remember when I was a dishwasher, but I was also a prep. I did food prep, and I had to mop, and I have to do a lot of stuff. And it told me just do this, and I have to do everything as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and because I felt like they put a lot of pressure on me. So I went as hard as I can, and some people was like, well, you look fine, so I can handle it. But in reality, I was, my mind was running, everything was running. I was paranoid. It was just like, and like, people say, like, well, you don't have it that hard. I mean, like, well, it's not that. Well, you're not inside you're not thinking what I'm thinking. So, like, really, like, if you were if you can switch, like, how you say it, just feel the connection, just feel like something what I feel, meant like the same as go inside my brain or something like that, then okay, then. But at the same time, it's just like just saying like, oh well, you don't have it that bad, and like you don't have it that bad. Like it's just like just because I don't really show it doesn't mean that I feel it. I kind of hate it when people say like, well, your issue is not that big, and like. It really is like it's not that it gets on my nerve, it's just like it gets me frustrated, and it just kind of like I there's no way of explaining really. But yeah, I mean like people around me don't give me that shit anymore. I mean, my parents were very strict on me in a way. They told me to you have to get a job. They say you have to get a job no matter what. They always told me to get a job, and I always try to go for a job. There's a certain time that even after I got diagnosed. There was a 7-month period that I was struggling. I mean, like, I was struggling getting a job, actually, because no one wanted to hire me, and for some reason, my everyone around me were saying they're basically calling me lazy. Yeah, the word lazy came out too. Like, you're so lazy, and why didn't you do anything? Like, why didn't you just look for a job? And like, well, I did, and like, well, look harder then. I mean, like, well, how do you look harder than harder? I mean, how? I mean, I mean, like, it was to the point that it was just like, I mean, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but to them it was just like, you're fine, you taking medication, problems fixed, you know that. It was not until like, and that was in 2017. It was not until 2019, because it was when I had the second mental breakdown, and they gave me the shot, which is supposed to last 3 months, and that's you don't have to take pills, but you have to take the shot, like the last 3 months, and so there didn't, and I've been the mood got really, really high. The white thoughts, I was very, 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 very like everything was. I was talking like, how do you say it? Non-stop, like everything like something like that. And I was walking back, something like that. I was like, and I was just everything back the whole days for a whole week. Like let's say my parents were frustrated. They said like that was the worst thing they felt. That was like they wanted to kick me out. They wanted to. Well, they didn't want it. They did not want to kick me out, but they said they you know how the people say like, I want you out, not because of, but just because of the frustration you're given. And but you know how people have kids, and kids can be very frustrated. Because they give you such a pain. But they said like that was the worst thing that they ever frustrated they felt, because I was being like how do you say it? From what I remember, I was waking up early, and I was sleeping late. And so the whole time they were awake, and there was a time that it was getting worse and worse to the point that I was sleeping less and less. They finally like, yeah, you have a mental problem. Like that, I feel like that's when I finally accepted like, yeah, you're basically fucked. Like, when it comes to like yeah, well, they didn't really say that, but I mean, like, they basically, that's what they implied. And it's just one of those things that it was just like, I mean, I had to go to the mental hospital again, and that was the fourth time. That was the last one. And and ever since when I got when well, yeah, that was the last time I was in the mental hospital. But the first three was like someone took me there. Last one, for some reason, after waited, everyone thought that, like, they told me just to wait a week, wait a few days, take one day at a time, just like the medication is gonna get better. It's gonna get better, because I already have it in my system. It's just gonna get better. No, it did not get better. I was every day. My pressure. I honestly, the blood pressure was getting higher and higher. Even when I went to the mental hospital, they told me that my blood pressure was very high, like very, very high. And even and like and there was like I was begging them to take me back to the mental hospital, and like because I was in my parents' house, and the mental hospital was in Indy, and that's 2 hours. I have to wait. Until I had a ride there, and the only one who can give me a ride was my sister, because my dad was at work. He was working, so there was no something like that, and my other brothers were at work too. Everyone was working, and I keep telling me, can you at least take a day off? Just take a day off. Just take me there. Just I even asked, like, I do whatever. I give you money. I give you something. If you need, just to pay bills, like, just ask for a sick day or something like that. Just you know how it is when it comes to it. Just I was in pain the whole week. I can honestly say that was very painful the whole week. Like, physically, mentally, everything. Like, my heart was hurting. I felt the strain in the heart, literally, like a strain in the heart. That's the thing, that how bad it was. And I was I'll be right back.